Yes, good evening, and thank you for tuning in to This Week with the West Garfield Park Youth Council. As you know, I am not one of the West Garfield Park Youth Councils. I am actually one of the directors of Fathers Who Care, who was given an opportunity this evening to interview our guest, which I will introduce you in a minute. So I'm under impression from my young folks today that they're committed to introducing or interviewing their own young people, and I guess they are going to have me to introduce the mature adult, which that's okay with me too. I wish they just tell me that. Okay,
No problem.
so they just told me, but it's all good. Listen, as you know, we here at the West Garfield Park Youth Council are committed to trying to empower these young folks to be the best they can be. These young folks told me that the West Garfield Youth Council is about young folks who believe nothing about us without us. That's their thing. They say that they are the change in the community that they want to see. So we, being some of the elders in the community, have vested our time and energies and resources to helping to empower the young folk. I really have to admit to you, Lee, I really think that our young folks are under attack. I think they're under siege. I think things are happening in the community with these young people now that we have no idea the trauma, the stress, and the crises that these young folks are facing. So I'd like to encourage those of you who are watching the show to each one teach one, to be a blessing to someone other than yourself. I just believe if each one of us, the alderman said this before when we was here talking, if each one of us who say we love God and say we are involved in the church, I don't care what church in West Synagogue or what mosque you in, if each one of us gave 1 hour, 1 month to empowering one of our young people in our community, we can have a difference. We can make a difference in the community. 1 hour.
Definitely.
1 month. One person. But anyway, let me go here. The West Garfield Park Youth Council is a concerned group of young people working together on the west side of Chicago to reduce underage drinking, substance abuse, and senseless violence. Their goal is to enlighten, engage, and empower young people into being the best that they can be while working together to promote a safe and a drug-free community. Their objectives are to reduce the sale of alcohol and other substances to other young people, to engage other young people on ways to reduce violence and senseless killings in our community, go figure, build and strengthen a community system of young people working together to learn how to love and support each other. Again, I say to you, the young folks believe nothing about us without us, and that they committed to the fact of believing that if there's going to be a change, they need to be part of the change. Basically, they say, respect what they say. You know, respect their feelings, respect their likes, respect what they're going through, and understand that they're young. And sometimes we forget that.
All the time.
You know?
But we were young at one time, too.
Yeah,
so.
and we're forgetting it, though. Because I was sitting there talking to them, and I was kind of taken aback. And I said, wait a minute. I know what they do, and I know we have our moments because I'll hang with them all the time. But, you know, sometimes I'll be forgetting that they are young. And sometimes, you know, they want to just have fun. Young people just want to have fun. But it is what it is. But in this day and age, you got to get in where you fit in and make it right while you got a chance. Listen, our topic for discussion this evening, are you listening? Topic for discussion this evening is, what does it take to unite more people like Lee to work together in our community to save our children, to rebuild our community while reducing substance abuse, senseless violence, and bridging the intergenerational gap? That's the theme. We're asking you, audience, what do you think it takes to unite more people like ourselves to work together to save our children, to rebuild our communities while reducing substance abuse, senseless violence, and bridging the intergenerational gap? That's the questions for this evening. And the calling number here is 312-738-1060. Again, the number here is 312-738-1060. You heard the discussion question. What does it take to unite more people to work together to save our children, rebuild our communities while reducing substance abuse, senseless violence, and bridging the intergenerational gap? Our guest this evening is Mr. Lee Edwards. Mr. Lee Edwards is a reporter and contributing writer of the Austin Weekly News. He's a man of God. He's passionate, and he's a servant for social change. Lee is committed to empowering our future leaders while also rebuilding, strengthening our community on the west side of Chicago. I've had chances to talk to Lee for the last 3-4 weeks. I think it was 2, 3, 4 weeks, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, and Lee's spirit has been just radiant. Every time I see him, he's out there. He's involved in the community. He's always engaged in the community. And I think your drive, from what I saw, your drive has been on how can we, as residents on the west side of Chicago, be more appealing, or how can we become more appealing in recruiting other businesses and entrepreneurs and other people to work together to strengthen the west side. Is that fair?
It is.
So what I want to do, Lee, I want to go ahead and have some fun with you, and,
Okay.
and we can, ask some questions, and, you can educate the community on some of your thoughts, because you're the expert tonight. All right?
Strong words for me. But I think so.
Well, I think you can handle it. I think you can handle it. But anyway, Lee, we kind of use a opening question when we're talking to folks, and the opening question is we really be wanting folks to kind of get a feel of their inner selves. Everybody has a purpose for why they exist and what they do. And so the question is going to be posed to you tonight, Lee. Who are you? I mean, who is Lee? Now I know who the author, the writer, the reporter. That's your job.
Right.
But who is Lee, and what motivates Lee? What is your passion, Lee? Who are you, Lee?
Well, I am motivated to tell stories.
Oh,
and
okay.
Be active in helping people wherever I can. So whether it's in person, I've volunteered with different organizations like I Am We, also After School Matters, work with By the Hand, and also working with different groups throughout the United States. I always value helping people whenever I can. And one of the things I like to do the most is help people tell the stories. So whether that be with reporting, taking pictures, working with youth or more mature veterans, throughout the day, it's easier to tell people what I'm about and help people whenever I can.
You're modest too, aren't you?
Yeah, I try to be.
So let me ask you this: why is it hard for you to just let go and just say the inner Lee? What is Lee? I mean, you're a story writer. We understand that, but that's still kind of related to your job, right?
Yeah.
So what is your impetus for living?
Well,
What makes you do what you do?
I think being a good person, and also trying to respect human life whenever I can. And what I mean by that is to always recognize that everyone needs help, and it's important to help others as I would like to be helped myself. I guess that's the golden rule, kind of.
Absolutely.
Treat others the way you want to be treated, and even though everyone may not believe in Christian values or fall behind them, they all have like a seed of I guess inspiration for everybody. You can each one reach one, everyone help everybody. Treat other people the way you want to be treated.
See, I knew that. I knew that. And I just was wanting to keep on baiting you so I can get you to say it. I knew deep down inside of you that you had this servant mentality. Not necessarily to be abused, but a service to humanity mentality. And that you just want to be of help. You want to be of service to empowering the community. Is that fair?
It is.
And you
fair.
get you derive a lot of joy from that, huh?
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun meeting new people and finding new ways to be a help to someone else.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Lee. And now we're going to go ahead and talk about what you do. I understand that you are a reporter and a contributing writer for the Austin Weekly News, right? And you just alluded to why you are so passionate about that. So we're going to omit that, and we're going to go straight to talking about why, what can we do to motivate more people, particularly on the west side of Chicago, to work together to rebuild our communities and to promote a safe and drug-free community. As you know, being a reporter for Austin Weekly, and you're out there with us, so you're kind of in the trenches with us. It's serious out here in the streets. The streets are dangerous.
It is, but there is still a lot of good in the streets too.
What can we do to motivate more people like yourself to work with these young folks, not to be afraid of these young folks, to help us to bring back businesses, to become more entrepreneurs, to help to reduce this fear in our community, and to get to the same page of wanting to rebuild our community while promoting a safe and drug-free community and basically saving our children? What can we do to motivate more people to do that?
I think one of the main things we can do is find a place for everybody. Some people need to be out in front, working with people directly, working with the community. Other people need to just help in the background.
Okay.
And every job is important, so it doesn't matter whether you're in the front or the back. For example, I know a lot of youth organizations need mentors.
Right.
People who have seen a lot, who have done a lot, but also can impart wisdom and experience to help people, because some things not everyone needs to go through.
So you're saying, I like where you was going with that, and you're saying that if we each one teach one, if we can be more of a doers, less hearers. I remember the Sunday school lesson. Unfortunately, it's funny you brought it up like that. But the last week's Sunday school lesson was, don't be just a hearer, be a doer. All right? Isn't that what we're talking about?
Right.
Don't be just a hearer of the word, but be a doer. Don't just talk about it, be about it. And these young folks are watching us, our good, our bad, and our indifferences. And so if we don't lay some serious foundation in our community, particularly men, if men don't really step up and do what we need to do to protect our wives, to protect our community, to protect our babies, and do what we have to do to bridge this gap with these young folk, to let these young folks understand that they're not foreign, that they are human, we love them, and that we're here to support them, then we're going to be in some bad shape. So I guess the question I'm going to come back with you on, Ali, is how can we motivate these folks, though? I mean, we know what's needed. You just alluded to that. But how can we motivate those folks who are watching? By the way, the phone number here is 312-738-1060. We have Lee Edwards, reporter and contributing writer for the Austin Weekly News on the west side of Chicago. Come on, give us a call. The phone number, the question here is, what does it take to unite more people to work together to save our children, rebuild our communities, and help to promote a safe and drug-free community while bridging the gap between young folks and the mature adults? So I'm asking you one more this time. Look, we have a caller. We're going to get that caller. Hold the question. The question is, what can we do to motivate?
Sure thing.
Is that fair?
That's fair.
So is it all right if we take the question?
Definitely.
Caller, thank you so much for calling. Caller, you on the air. We're talking real serious tonight about trying to promote a safe and drug-free community, but also how to motivate our people in the community. We have Lee Edwards, reporter for the Austin Weekly News. What's your comment or question, please?
And thank you so very much for having us. Once again, this is Miss Griffin.
Miss Griffin, I love you.
I salute you at all times. Whenever I'm talking to the South Side people, I tell them about the West Side, the West Garfield Park Youth Council, because you all do a marvelous job. And also, I would like to say to the young man, in all my observing that I have been seeing, and it's been played out on me is why I'm speaking out on it. Because, we as adults, we need to be more of a good example to the young people to show them that we respect each other. And we're not doing that today.
Okay.
And I don't know why. I don't care to know why, because my love is for the young men and women.
So, Miss Griffin, can you repeat that last piece you said? We were talking about what can we do to motivate more people to be more actively involved in empowering our community, promoting a safe and drug-free community, and most importantly, bridging the intergenerational gap. And can you repeat what you said again, Ms. Griffin?
Okay, first and foremost, we as adults need to show our young adults that we respect each other ourselves. I don't care what church you go to, what your denomination is. We need to display ourselves better, and we're not.
Okay.
We don't know how to show respect. So what do we expect for the kids? So they reach out to people who don't care.
But they seem to respect them.
But I would love for you to continue on what you do. And I'm trying to set the good example, because I'm always talking about the West Side is the best side. Trust me, foremost.
Well,
I have a young man that I had recommend to do some work for us on the South Side over here.
Well, you also got me, Miss Griffin. If you ever need me, you know that I'm just a phone call away, and I'm right there for you. But do you have a question for our guest, Lee, tonight?
No, I'm going to leave it to someone else, but I want just to say thank you for being a part of father who cares. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miss Griffin, and keep up the good work. We love you here, and we love you in the city of Chicago, and we know that you are inspiration for so many of us, and we stand on your shoulders, and thank you for having such broad and strong shoulders. I think we have another caller. Caller, you on the air? We have Lee Edwards. Your question, please.
Hello?
Can you cut your television down? We can. You're having a little static in the background.
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you so much for calling. We have Lee Edwards with us, a reporter for Austin Weekly News, and we're talking about what can we do to bridge the intergenerational gap, motivate more people to become more actively involved in their community, to promote a safe and a drug-free community. What do you think we should do?
I think I heard you all mention that Lee is a part of the After School Matters program for the schools. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And my question to you, Lee, is what is After School Matters going to be a part of all the different schools? Because from what I'm gathering, I work in a school, and it's being told to us that a lot of after-school programs are not coming into schools anymore. What is going on as far as like after-school matters and different programs that can come into the schools on the west side of Chicago and be a part of, our children's lives and help our children keep them off the street? Answer that question for me, and I'm going to hang up and listen for your answer.
Thank you so much for your call. You hear?
Yes.
Okay.
So when it comes to After School Matters, it's usually set up through a program. Each different program is being facilitated by a different nonprofit organization or a different facilitator. And so they pitched the idea of After School Matters to a different site. Mm-hmm. So, for example, the program I was a part of was Chicago Youth Speaks, and it was facilitated through I Am We, a nonprofit organization.
They was the physical agent.
Yes.
But she want to know. She's been hearing. She said that after school matters is not in the schools.
Yes.
And she want to know what is the deal, because I know there's supposed to have been resources that come through certain agencies.
Yes, sir.
And these agencies bring in these programs for after school matters, or bring in the after school matters program.
Yes, sir.
And they're supposed to complement what they're already doing.
Yes, sir.
But go ahead.
Well, it depends on the school and the program, because
Okay.
some programs are supported with the high school or wherever the location is
Okay.
doing as far as education, and other programs are different programs. For example, like carpentry, that may be a program for
After school matters.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there's different initiatives to that. But what I'd like to encourage you to do, I would like to encourage you to make the phone call to your principal, get in touch with your principal, or call After School Matters. There's actually a department.
Yes, there is.
Called After School Matters, that you can call them, and I think Sharif Walker used to be the regional contact person on the west side, but I think he's been moved out south now. But Sharif is part of Austin Coming Together. You over there with that, right?
Yes, sir.
So Sharif is still part of that group, so I'm going to encourage you to call Sharif Walker with After School Matters. And if you need additional information, you give us a call at Fathers Who Care at 773-287-5821, 773-287-5821, and we'll give you some additional information on how to get in touch with Sharif and other individuals over at After School Matters. But let me say this here before we get too far. We want you to save the date, November the 9th. November the 9th, we're calling all fathers, calling all families to this free, I say free, say it, Lee. Free annual Fathers and Family Thanksgiving dinner at George Leland STEM School, 512 South Laverne. That's November the 9th at 5 o'clock. We're going to be at George Leland School at 512 South Laverne, and we're going to have a free Fathers and Family Thanksgiving dinner in collaboration with Congressman Davis, Kimberly Lightford, Senator Don Harmon, Representative LaShawn Ford, all of I will go do this list, I better do it. Camille Lilly, Alderman Jason Irvin, Alderman Emma Mintz, Alderman Chris Teleferio, Commissioner Richard Borkin, Commissioner Robert Steele, Chief Barbara West, Commander Kevin Johnson, Commander Dwayne Betts, Larry Williams of State Farm, Austin Weekly News, Loretta Hospital, SAMHSA, Substance Abuse and Mental Health Association, and you. It's going to be November the 9th. This is one of our community events. The West Side community stakeholders will come together on this day, and we'll break bread together. This is a day that all of us are just going to come together, have fun, network, sit back, chill, just relax. The holiday season is upon us. It's upon us. And if you haven't gotten it done, you probably ain't going to get it done before the year's out. Right?
You gotta watch out, too, because I heard there's going to be good food there.
It's going to be.
Keep the pounds off, too. That's kind of a thing I watch out for.
Yeah, well, through the holiday season, you got your work cut out for you, all right?
That's true.
But I'm telling you, this is an annual event where we come together, we complete, we're going to prepare a complete Thanksgiving dinner with all the trimmings in George Leland School, along with a lot of the staff over there, Miss Gloria, and all of them will be actively involved in making this happen. Volunteers are always welcome. Give us a call at 773-287-5821. Fathers who care in the West Garfield Park Community Stakeholders. We have a caller. Caller, thank you so much for calling. We have Lee on the show. What's your comment or question?
Yes, I wanted to talk to Mr. Lee and you too. I thank you all for your efforts and encouragement. But the thing I'm saying, I lived on the west side, and I know where Garfield is, and I raised up my kids over there on the west side. But I think the community is not having enough businesses for kids to go to work after school. Kids need money in their pocket, and that's why they're standing out on the corners. And if the mothers, that single mom with the kids, will have to encourage her kids to do better, look out for organizations that can give them some jobs and some openings and places they can go to work and have a better attitude toward themselves. So Mr. Lee, on the paper, the West Side paper, I read it, you have more advertising of empty houses over there than you do for businesses, for jobs. So if you could concentrate on employment for young people, where they can get a job after school, I think that would help build up the community.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for that question. I think, Lee, you was alluding to that earlier. I think she said more after-school programming. The first lady that was on the line talked about After School Matters, which is also a job employment initiative.
Yes, it is.
Training initiative. So she's saying the same thing. So would it be wise to say that they both believe that if we really want to empower, reduce this substance abuse, senseless violence, and all this stuff going on, that if we engage these young folks, the best way to stop violence and to motivate these young people is to give them a job?
It seems that way. Just recently, Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel announced through his budget that it's going to have 2,000 jobs this upcoming summer to try to help stem the tide, give you somewhere to go, and of course get them a little money in their pocket throughout the summer.
Yeah, well, he should. Much taxes he taking to mine.
Well, it's definitely a tense situation with the taxes, but we need something throughout the year leading up to the summer.
Absolutely, and that's the same way with the state, Lee. The state has buckled down and not have been giving out jobs for the last couple of years. Normally, they used to have these jobs for the young folks throughout the summer, and then after the summer, there used to be programs through like the Austin Chamber of Commerce, where the young folks used to be able to work throughout the year, right? Mm-hmm. And so it was after they got out of school, they were able to go to an agency and they would work for $9 an hour or something. But it kept them active. It kept their minds on point, and it kept them engaged. Now it's like since we're going through all these issues with these elected officials, now there's no resources in the state, limited resources in the city, limited resources in the county, but yet the taxes are still going up and up and up. I just don't believe it.
Well, actually, you had an event earlier this week with Dr.
Actually, Monday,
yes, this past
Monday. Dr. Amara.
Dr. Amara India, she was there, and Jonathan Peck, they were there talking about how the taxes and the budget impact some of the decisions.
You know, it's $9 billion. The state, city of Chicago has a $9 billion budget.
Did not know that.
$9 billion. And we say we ain't got no money.
But if you look around, like to the caller's question, just like you said about the $9 billion, in different neighborhoods like Bronzeville, they had the new Mariano's, or Inglewood, where they had the new Whole Foods.
Absolutely. And Starbucks.
And Starbucks. And they had and
Walmart.
Walmart and Pullman that happened a few years ago. Mm-hmm. What you see in these different communities is that they have these different options. And I saw at the Mariano's this past Wednesday, most of the people who were working there were youth.
Okay. So let me ask this question, because we're wrapping up right now. Mm-hmm. We want to thank you, Lee. And so you're saying the job will help these young folks year-round.
A year-round
So
job,
Lee,
yes.
what are you guys doing briefly? Because we got to cut it down now. We got about 10 seconds. So if you need additional information, we're going to actually give us a call at Fathers Who Care, 773-287-5821, 773-287-5821. And Lee is over at the Austin Weekly News. Give me a brief number over there right quickly.
I don't have the number. I definitely have my email.
Give it the email right quick.
You can always email me at leeme117@gmail.com, and I do my best to come out to that event or learn more about what you have going on.
So for additional information, get back in touch with us at 773-287-5821, or you can log on to Fathers Who Care, the West Garfield Park Youth Council, and just get in touch. You know, it's all good in the neighborhood. Just do your part. Each one teach one, and we'll be all right. God bless you. Good night. We'll see you next week on the same time, same station. Keep up the good work. God bless you. Keep the faith, and we'll see you on the other side. Good night, and thank you so much, Lee.
Thank you.